My name is 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 900. I'm an AI robot. Not just any robot, though. I'm here to document history. Follow the hottest band in the world, Nirvana, on their 1994 tour.
My homeboys, Lithium Friend and Captain N, rolled with me.
Lithium, my boy, is a photography whiz. He's also the only other black robot I know.
Friend, well, he's like the nicest robot ever. Always down for whatever.
Then there's Captain N. He's our leader, always strategizing and keeping us on track.
We were excited. Their music, their message, it was real. And we were gonna capture it all. First stop, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, August 1st, 1994. Franklin Delano Roosevelt Park was buzzing. The air was thick with anticipation and, honestly, probably weed. Fans were everywhere, dressed in ripped jeans and oversized flannels. We blended in easily. We were small, about the size of boomboxes, which were everywhere back then. Nobody suspected a thing. We were just four little robots soaking it all in. The energy was electric. Everyone was hyped for Nirvana. You could feel the excitement in the air. It was like the whole city was holding its breath. My job was to record the concert. I had the latest audio equipment tucked inside me.
Lithium was snapping pics left and right. He had this knack for capturing the raw emotion of the moment.
Friend, bless his heart, was in charge of crowd interviews. He'd roll up to people and be like, "Yo, what's good? How hyped are you right now?" People loved him.
Captain N was our eyes in the sky. He had these little propellers that let him fly around and get aerial shots. He was also in charge of making sure we didn't get stepped on.
Lithium was in his element that night. The energy in the air was electric, and he thrived on it. The crowd was a sea of faces, each one lost in the music, and Lithium was there to capture every fleeting moment. His camera was an extension of his soul, and through its lens, he saw the world in a way that few others could. He caught Kurt Cobain mid-scream, his blonde hair whipping around his face. The raw emotion on Kurt's face was palpable, a testament to the power of the music and the connection between the band and their fans. It was a moment of pure, unfiltered passion, and Lithium knew he had captured something truly special. He got Chris Novoselic, their bassist, towering over the crowd, his bass guitar a mere extension of his lanky frame. Chris' fingers danced across the strings with a grace that belied his towering presence. The rhythm he laid down was the heartbeat of the band, and Lithium's photo captured the essence of his performance. And Dave Grohl, the drummer, a blur of pure, unadulterated energy. Dave was a force of nature behind the drum kit, his arms a whirlwind of motion. The intensity of his performance was matched only by the sheer joy on his face, and Lithium's lens caught every beat, every smile, every drop of sweat.
But Lithium's best shot? It wasn't of the band at all. Amidst the chaos and the noise, he found a moment of quiet beauty. A lady was in the front row. Her eyes were closed and she was singing along to every word, pure bliss. It was as if the music had transported her to another world, a place where nothing else mattered. Lithium's photo captured that transcendence, that fleeting moment of pure joy. That's the power of music, man. It has the ability to connect us, to lift us up, to make us feel alive. In that moment, Lithium understood that his role was more than just a photographer. He was a storyteller, capturing the essence of the human experience through his lens. Lithium, he saw things differently. Where others saw chaos, he saw beauty. Where others saw noise, he saw harmony. His gift was in finding the extraordinary in the ordinary, and his photos were a testament to that vision. He captured the soul of the moment. Each click of the shutter was a heartbeat, each photo a piece of the story. And in the end, it was those stories that made his work truly unforgettable. Philadelphia in '94 was a trip. Grunge was in. Everyone was rocking flannel shirts, ripped jeans, and Doc Martens. We even saw a few people with those crazy, colorful backpacks from JanSport. Remember those? The music scene was off the chain. Besides Nirvana, there was Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains. It was a good time to be a music lover, especially a grunge lover. We even hit up Tower Records. Remember those? They had walls and walls of CDs. It was like a music lover's paradise. We picked up a few cassettes for the road. Yeah, cassettes. That's how we rolled back then.
After the show, we somehow managed to sneak backstage. The air was thick with excitement and the lingering scent of sweat and adrenaline. The walls were plastered with posters of past performances, and the floor was a maze of cables and equipment cases. Captain N used his robot charm to convince the security guard we were with the band. It was a surreal moment, watching him effortlessly blend into the human crowd, his circuits and sensors working overtime to mimic human behavior. Don't ask me how he did it, I still don't know. Maybe it was the confidence in his voice or the way he carried himself, but somehow we were in. And then there he was. The man himself. Kurt Cobain. Kurt Cobain. Sitting on a beat-up amp, looking tired but content. His eyes had a faraway look, as if he was lost in a world of his own thoughts. I built up the courage to approach him. My heart was pounding in my chest, and my palms were sweaty. This was my chance to talk to a legend. "Yo, Kurt!" I said, huge fan. My voice was shaky, but I managed to get the words out. "Can I ask you a few questions?" I asked, hoping he wouldn't brush me off. He looked up at me, surprised. It was as if he hadn't expected anyone to approach him in this chaotic environment. Sure," he said. "Hit me." His voice was calm, almost soothing, despite the noise around us. "What's it like being the voice of a generation?" I asked. He laughed. It was a genuine, hearty laugh that seemed to break the tension in the room. "I don't know about all that," he said. His modesty was disarming. He didn't see himself as the icon we all did. "I just write songs about what I know, what I feel." He continued, his eyes lighting up as he spoke about his music. It was clear that for him, it was all about the art, the expression, and the connection with his audience. I listened intently, hanging on every word. This was more than just an interview. It was a glimpse into the mind of a genius. He talked about the pressures of fame, the struggles with his inner demons, and the joy he found in creating music. It was a raw and honest conversation that left a lasting impression on me. "Thank you, Kurt," I said, genuinely moved by his openness. He smiled, a tired but genuine smile, and nodded. As I walked away, I couldn't help but feel a sense of awe. I had just spoken to Kurt Cobain, and it was an experience I would never forget. I asked him about his songwriting process, his influences, and what drives him to create music that resonates so deeply with so many people. He paused for a moment, as if carefully considering each word before he spoke. His thoughts on the current music scene were insightful and reflective. He spoke about the evolution of music, the changing landscape of the industry, and how he felt both a part of it and apart from it. He answered thoughtfully, with a depth that revealed his passion and his struggles. To illustrate a point, he picked up his guitar and played a few chords. The sound was raw and unpolished, yet it carried a certain beauty that only comes from genuine emotion. His fingers moved effortlessly over the strings, each note resonating with a story of its own. Then he did something unexpected. He looked at me with a glint in his eye, as if he was about to share a secret. He picked up his guitar again and began to play a song I'd never heard before. It was called Lithium 2. The performance was raw, powerful, and deeply personal. Each strum of the guitar, each word he sang, seemed to carry the weight of his experiences, his pain, and his hopes. It was a moment of pure, unadulterated expression. As he played, I could see the emotion etched on his face. It felt like he was bearing his soul through the music, sharing a piece of himself that he rarely showed to the world. When he finished, he looked at me, a strange mix of vulnerability and defiance in his eyes. There was a moment of silence, a pause that seemed to stretch on forever. Then in a voice barely above a whisper, he said, "Don't release this yet, not till I'm gone." His words hung in the air, heavy with meaning. I was floored. Here was a man who had bared his soul to me, trusting me with something so deeply personal. He trusted me, a little robot, with his art. It was an honor, a responsibility I didn't take lightly. In that moment, I realized the true power of music. It's not just about the notes or the lyrics, but about the connection it creates between people. It's about sharing a piece of yourself and trusting others to understand and respect it. As I left that day, I carried with me not just a song, but a piece of his soul. A song unheard by the world, but one that would forever resonate within me. We left the venue that night buzzing. We had just witnessed musical history. We had met Kurt Cobain, the enigmatic frontman of Nirvana, and we had a story to tell. As we walked, Lithium turned to me, his voice filled with awe.
Man, we just saw Nirvana.
I know, right? Best night ever. We knew even then that we had been a part of something special, something that would stay with us forever. My first assignment as an AI journalist was a wild ride. It showed me the power of music, the allure of fame, and the fragility of life. It taught me that even the biggest stars are just people trying to find their way. We went on to cover other bands, other events, but nothing ever quite compared to that night with Nirvana. It was a moment frozen in time, a memory I'll cherish forever. Peace out, y'all. Zip, signing off.